You're live.
Oh, thanks.
You're watching the screen. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone. I am just being
No,
goofy
we're
here.
both being
Yes,
dorks.
we're being goofy. We're big
Goofy.
dorks. We can't have it.
Oh, my goodness.
How's everybody tonight? So glad
Hi,
everybody
friends.
is here with us again for Jewel Loom School Live. And it's going to be an awesome one, guys, because guess who's teaching again? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bruce. And she's going to make a really beautiful, fun project for us.
One that
today.
you guys asked for. You were asking for how to make a button hole in your bracelet. So,
so pretty. So pretty and so easy because you don't have to worry about tying knots and doing all that stuff. And as far as the end goes, the buttonhole part. Yeah.
Well, you do still have to tie knots on the end. So.
And Sandy's here and Sherry's here. Hi, guys.
Hey, friends.
Hi,
how are you?
Ilena. Am I saying that right?
I know.
I think I do, but then I question myself. Ilena's here. Good afternoon. It is technically evening here, and we are on the East Coast, though, so.
Maybe it's
good afternoon to you, my dear, because it probably isn't where you are. Yes.
On the West Coast, our West Coast friends.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. So if you want to... Oh, go ahead, honey.
No, go ahead, Amber. I was just going to say... I'm super excited about this project today.
Yes.
I just think it's going to be a fun one to do. So you go ahead, my dear. I'll keep my mouth shut for
I was just going to say, if you want to make along with us, grab some hemp, some Wildfire, some tile beads. So you'll need 3 strands of tile beads in 3 colors, a jewel loom needle, and a button. And then the other usual stuff, some nipper, like cutters or thread burners and that kind of thing. But welcome, Pamela.
Hi,
we got a first timer. So fun.
4 p.m. here on the West Coast.
Well, good afternoon.
We love it. We love it. We love it when the new ones come in too. That's great, honey. I hope you enjoyed tonight. I'm sure you will.
Yeah. Yeah, super excited to have you here. Thank you, Sandy. That's really sweet.
Well, it's true.
No.
It's true. You're a very good designer and very good at coming up with some awesome stuff.
My brain is not working super well, so I was glad you guys gave some suggestions.
Yes. Yeah, and what you did last week was just superb, so I'm sure this will be too.
Fun, Pamela, that you love tile beads. That's awesome. I do too. I think they're really cool. So
yes,
this is what we're making tonight. And for our new friends, we're going to use, Trish is probably using her original, but I'm going to use the small wisdom warrior, and Trish will show you how on her, my brain, sorry, for those who are new.
Honey.
Yeah.
I'll help you.
Yeah. The small wisdom warrior. And if you haven't gotten one yet, you can actually, this is a great project for the small wisdom warrior, because if you buy the small wisdom warrior, you get 4 strands of tile beads with it. Button. Perfect. You get the new, we don't have it yet to show you, but the new crown bead board. And let's see, what else do you get? You get jewel loom needles. You get a button.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. So this is actually a great project. If you haven't bought your small wisdom warrior yet. So this is the same size as the original. Hey, Fran.
Oh, never mind. It left me.
Oh, no.
I was like, thought gone.
That's okay. That's my brain these days too.
And I'm sitting here saying, I'll help you. Yeah, right.
Oh, well, do you want to flip down and make along with me?
Sure do.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, Maria. I can go to single for now.
There we go. Yeah, I don't want to make anybody sick.
Yeah, so for friends who are just joining, we are going to be using either Tricia's using the original, and I'm going to use the small wisdom warrior. You'll need 3 strands of tile beads. You'll need I'm using a round button. So I think that's the best option for the whole. At least that's what I've done the project with. But if you want to attempt a different kind of bead, great. You need some Wildfire, some jewel loom needles, some hemp. And I think I got, and if you see on the ends here, I added some bling bling. So Jules has some really fun check glass bead mixes. So that's where these came from. So tonight I picked, she has a black and gray one and gold, and I picked from that one tonight. So she has different check glass bead mixes. So they're all under check glass beads on her website.
Yeah, a lot of gorgeousness.
Are you flipped around there, friend?
Yes, ma'am. I'm ready to go.
Great.
And I'm just going to look in here and get me out some fire polish for my end.
Oh, nice.
Actually, I think I have it.
So you want to get your hemp. The thickness of the hemp for this project doesn't necessarily matter. The 0.5, I think it is, fits better in the holes for both of the looms. But the original demo one, I did a thicker one, and it worked fine. They just sit up on top of the grooves. So just like with all projects, you're going to start. You're going to take your hemp, and you're going to tie it around the knob here. So if you joined us last week, you'll see a very similar technique to what we did last week in order to create the buttonhole. So I do 2 knots on the end there. And to fit the tile beads comfortably, you have to skip 3 of the grooves with each one. And we're going to do, as you see, 3 rows. So we need to do 4 warps. So push it down into the groove a little, helps. And then the big difference, I think, between the 2 looms is the original, you don't have to hold the tension as much. But I do wrap around twice around the knob to help hold the tension for me.
Yeah, that's a very good trick there.
So I count over 3 and go in the 4th notch. And just hold that tension as you're going along. Count over 3 and go in the 4th notch. And as I did on the other end, I wrap around twice to help hold that tension. And I also, if I need to let go, you can put your finger on top of it. 1, 2, 3. And in the 4th notch. Of course, my hemp is getting tangled.
Oh, yes. And
only in Alive, right?
Me, so, hey, we're really...
That's how it always goes, right?
Only
on the live.
So. Yeah.
Same on this end. 1, 2, 3. Nope, I got 1 extra in there. 1, 2, 3. 4th notch, wrap around twice, and then going up for our last warp. 1, 2, 3. In the 4th notch, and 1, 2, 3. In the 4th notch, and I wrap it around a little bit more than twice. And now this is where your handy dandy clippers come in handy. Cut your hemp. Move it out of the way. And then I like to hold up here to try and hold the tension while I'm tying the knot. And slide it underneath. Grab it. And pull it through. You can always use your pliers to help pull it through too. Cinch it down. And then repeat.
Perfect. Hi, Rosalinda. Thanks for joining us tonight.
There you go, friends. So, should have 4 warps, and we're doing 3 rows. So, if you just joined us, here's the bracelet we're making tonight. Now, the big difference from other bracelets we made, usually we make it smaller than our wrist size. So, my wrist size is a 7, so I normally make my bracelets 6 inches. But in order to accommodate for the buttonhole, I actually made the tile part is 7 inches long. And as you can see, I have the button out a little further. Okay. So you may need more than just 3 strands, depending on your wrist size. So you want to make the bracelet your wrist size. Okay. And then the hemp, or slightly longer. And then the hemp, as you can see, I have my button stretched out there in order to reach around and go through our buttonhole.
That is too cool, my friend.
And you could actually, if you wanted, show off the button, you could put that on top.
Mm-hmm.
So
that shell button's perfect for that.
Yeah, I was going for a beachy theme. But
yeah,
I find when I'm making, I don't know why, having stuff on my wrists is harder. But,
it does. It catches. I think the buttons catch, and I've had the same experience, so don't feel bad. I wear things like this, so then that way it doesn't catch as much because I have like a clasp on it.
Mm-hmm. My watch doesn't, but yeah, for reasons bracelets do. So I'm going to do about 2 of my wingspans for this, since it's a little longer than what I normally make. But it's fairly easy to add in if you're new. So if you don't have enough, it's fairly easy to add in a new thread. So having needle nose pliers or something is always handy because, I didn't turn my light on. There we go.
Oh, much better.
A little needle trick is just to press down the end of your Wildfire or your beading thread, and it helps it go through. If you're like me, I can't see it.
Yeah.
Without my magnifier. But it does help it go through. But my magnifier is on the other side of the room. That's not as easy as of a task to move. Oh, always on the lives, I can do this blind normally.
Can you use butter with a shank? A button. Okay, that makes more sense. Button. Sure, sweetie.
I would think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to do button with a shank. You would just tie it off differently. That would be the main difference.
Yeah.
So definitely. I am going to start with the buttonhole, just because the rest of the bracelet is pretty standard weaving. But I will show some rows of that, but make sure we get the buttonhole in. So you want to tie off whether on the top of your loom or on the bottom of your loom, whichever you're most comfortable doing. Tie off your beading thread.
Can you use wax linen or cotton instead of hemp? Very good question. Mm-hmm.
I've not used either recently, Paula. I've used wax linen, but I don't know how, the length of how well it'll hold up or anything. So hemp for me holds up really well. So I found it really helpful to lay out my beads in the pattern I wanted. So And then I can just, because the buttonhole, as you can see, we'll take out 4 of the beads from there. So the pattern, I was just doing rows. So I black, gold, silver. So you do 1 row, and then it would be what I did to figure this out for me. I just went ahead and filled in the whole thing and then took the beads away once I figured.
That's a great idea.
So it was just much easier than trying to think too hard about it.
Yeah.
So all I'm doing is I'm just moving each bead down. So once they reach here, they come back to the beginning. So that's all the it's just a pretty simple pattern. So gold moved over, now silver will be in the middle and black on the end. So as you see, it's just kind of creating these diagonals as we go along here. So black finished, so that'll now be back over here. So I just keep shifting over 1.
Oops. I'm on the wrong side. We get it eventually. Don't we?
So whatever pattern you want to make, if you just want to go, plain, just straight across, you can do that too. You'll need 3 strands, whatever pattern you decide, however you want to. I'm excited to see what you guys will do with this. You need 3 strands. So you guys
Vicky,
always come up.
Vicky's here. Hi, Vicky. She said, "Oh, goody! I get to learn how to make a hole."
Oh, Vicky. Vicky is our. She brings the fun to the party.
In-house comedian, basically.
Yes.
She does. We have a lot of ladies that bring fun in here, that's for sure.
Oh, yes.
Very blessed. Very blessed.
You guys are the best. I really enjoy working with all of you.
Yes. For sure. So...
Yeah. I know this is kind of boring, but...
You like really helps. The whole bracelet?
I just lay out the whole bracelet, yeah. But it makes it go quicker once it's...
Okay.
Yeah.
That works.
But I will stop there. So, because I have a second one that I'll take off. So so you need to take 4 out if you're using Jules's round buttons. 4 seem to be the good width. So.
Gotcha. I don't know. I'm just kind of doing mine willy-nilly, and that's just how it's going to be.
You're doing willy-nilly.
I'm doing willy-nilly.
Oh, my goodness. You go, girl. All right. So if you're new, make your bracelet. You're going to... this is 7 inches long. That's the size of my bracelet. So you want to make it as long as your wrist or a little bit longer in order for the buttonhole to work. And of course, I'm getting all caught up in my headphones wire. Oh, the joys. All right. Yes. So we did 4 warps because we're going to have 3 rows. And we do 2 wingspans. We're going to pick up our first 3. Now, the thing with tile beads is you can either, before you do your project, go through and check them all, or while you're putting them on, you just check both holes. Because if you have to ram one of them in the middle once it's already through, it's harder. So I have found it just to be, sometimes when they make these, just a little bit of dirt gets in there, left over from them making it and stuff. So usually it's pretty good easy to clean them out. So you need to have 3. Now, if you've chosen tile beads with a design on them and you want the design up, you want to make sure that you go through the top hole first if you're going from top to bottom. If you're going from bottom to top, you do the bottom hole first. if your tile bead has a design. If it doesn't, then you don't have to worry about it. You want to do the first row completely, the whole thing, all three. So you go underneath first, and then you come over top through the first hole. And then you need to make sure that you can see the needle on top of the hemp. So I did dark colors tonight to try and make it easier for you guys to see the project. And that's how you would know. So underneath for the first pull through, and then on top for the second pull through. And then you repeat in the second hole. Sorry, since I got so much Wildfire, it takes a minute here. Now we're going to go through the second hole. So I find just pushing them down a little makes it easier to just pass through. So if you're new to looming, you might not want to get 2 wingspans worth because it does knot up easier. Maybe do a wingspan and a half or something and just add more thread in later. So once again, go underneath and then on top, making sure you can see your needle. That's a good way of knowing that you've made it through all 3 on top. Otherwise, you'll lose your beads. So this locks the bead in.
Vicky says Nelly versus plan pattern depends on how that arranges it.
On how you arrange it, I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
You could do either or. It's funny. Usually I'm the willy-nilly and Trisha's the pattern. So.
Well, it's kind of a pattern. I mean, I can't say it's not. Sorry.
Oh, how the cat arranges it. Nice.
Gotcha.
Okay, now you're going to only pick up 1. So just like we did last week, we're going to pick up 1 and the needle is going to go underneath the first 2 warps and come up in the middle of the middle one. Got caught on my shorts. I have a button on my shorts. All right, and then you're going to go over the top. So you're only wrapping the bead around the first 2 warps only. And same thing, go underneath in the second hole and come up through the middle. So just the first 2 warps, or are you going to wrap it around?
Hi, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Joan says, she said, I need a cat to make my pattern for me, LOL.
Nice, Joan. So if you're just joining us, you need do 1 row, and now we're going to make our buttonhole. So we're just going down 4 down the side here, just in the first opening. Remember to check both holes of your beads so there's no surprises. Whether you do it before the project.
Yeah, I have a bad habit of not doing that. It's not good.
I've experienced.
Yes, I have too. I should know better. But yes, the best route is definitely check your holes.
Yes.
I'm not getting a reaction from Joan on that. I don't know. What the heck?
Maybe she didn't hear you.
No,
Oh.
I mean, because she's using my girl on those kind of comments.
We can see Joan. She is.
But I'm bump. Yes, we can see Joan.
Sorry, I went underneath in the second hole, and now I'm going on top. So just locking it in the first row only. Sorry, I got wrapped up in laughing at Trish here.
Sorry.
And my mic's right here, so it's hard to pull my Wildfire through.
It's catching on your mic too.
Yeah,
hey,
everything.
This is real life beading, guys. We're not to show you anything that happens to everybody, basically. I'm going to lower this down just a smidge here. There we go. This is reality for all of us.
So remember, go underneath the first two and up through the middle. And you can just pull the bead to the end and then grab it and then come back over top just the first two warps because you need that hole for your button. So very similar to last week's project, just a shorter hole. So second hole through underneath and through the middle. And then over top to lock it in.
Okay. Now you said we go down 4. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm on 3. So I've got 1 more to go.
All right.
If you're using the Jewels round buttons. So 4 seems to be the...
Okay.
I think 5 would be too many.
Yeah, so that's a good rule of thumb. Just take your button like Amber did there and just stick it in the middle and kind of they'll give you an idea on how many rows you need to make for that to fit through.
Yes, so that's why laying it out is helpful when you make the buttonhole.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay.
So I just went under and over, and now I'm going under again for the second hole.
So you're not counting the row on the end?
Correct.
As 1?
No, I'm counting just where it's down the side.
Okay. That's what was, because as I'm looking at it, I'm thinking I have 4 and it's not going to fit.
Oh.
But yes, 5 total. All right. Gotcha.
And then back through the top. Hey, Lisa. Really? Glad you joined us. Yes, Vicki, we make the mistakes so you don't.
Do as we say, not as we do, basically.
So now we're going to go and do one row of our pattern.
Did I really just snort on live?
I didn't hear you.
Let's not talk about it. Let's edit that part out, Joan.
So you're going to pick up 3 again after you've done your 4 singles. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. 4 singles.
Okay.
Make sure you go under your warps with your 3.
What's that, honey?
Don't worry about it. I'm just saying going under your warps with your 3. And then the top hole, going back over top, make sure you can see your needle so you know you're not going to drop any beads. So we're doing the 3 again. So push them down so you can grab the bottom of all the beads. So I'm going to go back through the top of all the second holes with your tile beads and give it a... All right. Looking good there, Trish. Now we're going to go back through the first hole to get over to the other side of our buttonhole. So you're going to go through the first two and come out. And now go through your middle, your open middle. Just like it, all you have is a 1-row bracelet, right? Like just ignore all this stuff right now. And you're going to pick up your tile bead, check the holes. If you're doing a pattern and you're working up now, like me, make sure you check your pattern that it's facing up. So you're going to want to go in the bottom hole now. So we're going to start at the bottom hole and then go over and go through the middle. So you'll already be through the middle on this.
And you can see for me it's opposite because I work from the bottom up. So I'm going from the top down. Not to confuse anyone in case you're noticing that.
Push your tile bead down so you remember to go under your warps. Make sure you're coming through the middle so you don't have any of your beading thread in the middle. You only want to go around the last 2 warps now. And then back through the top and through the middle. Pick up your next. Check the holes. And then go underneath.
Vicky says, can you do that again? I are confused.
Yep. So I picked up the next one. Okay. Went through the bottom hole. Went underneath only the last 2 warps. So we're doing the same thing we did coming down. We're just going up. So we just go through the bottom hole instead of the top hole. So it's the same technique. So you go through the middle, go underneath, pick up your tile bead, and then come back over top. So it's the same weaving pattern that we have been using. I'm just saying go through the middle right away so you don't get confused about where you're at. And then you do the top hole, same thing. Go under the warps first. So you just want to make sure you have no beading wire in the middle here because that's your buttonhole. And then back through the top of the bead. The transition from the 3 beads to the 1, sure. And
if you can't do it again, maybe just explain it.
Yep.
You know.
So I did the 3 beads normal. And then when I got over to this side, so back to my starting point, I just went through the top 2 and came out the middle. And went underneath right there and picked up my first one. Hopefully that made sense.
And remember, guys, you can always go back and watch the replay. It's going to live there and you can just watch it as many times as you need.
Did that help, Vicky? Or do you need me to explain it again? So, I'm glad to. Great. Awesome. You are very welcome, friend. So went through the top, the bottom and the top. Now I'm going through the bottom of the top hole. Always make sure you keep that middle open. And now back through the top and down through the middle. I just forget where I am. So if I go down through the middle, I don't cross over by accident. But if it doesn't work for you, that's fine too. I'm picking up my last one. Checking the holes. Dropping my bead down. So underneath the first hole and then the second hole.
Hi, Brenda. Welcome.
Welcome, Brenda. And then remember to push your tile bead down. Go underneath the 2 warps. Only the 2 warps to lock your tile bead in. And then back through the top.
What did I do?
So,
There we go. I got it.
Figured out?
Yep.
All right, and make sure you go drop down through the middle. If you want to tie a little knot here, just to tie off that side, it'll be kind of hidden. You can do just a simple little knot. Along the inside of the warp. So now, come back out of the tile bead you just did and go through it. Doesn't matter if it's top or bottom right now. I went through the top. Just make sure you don't have any extra yarn in your buttonhole here. Okay. It'll be a little snug, but you want that. And just move it around a little. And then we're going to go reinforce the first row up here. So I'm going to go through the top here of the bottom hole. You don't have to do, and then just because you're going to be putting a lot of pressure on these 3 beads with your button. So, and then I'm going underneath the top. And now you can decide, you can either reinforce, go back down either side. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to go back down this side because it's right here, but you can go back down the other side. And it doesn't matter if you go through the top or underneath the warps. Just don't put anything in your buttonhole.
No.
So we're just taking the thread, instead of cutting it off, we're reinforcing a little and heading back down to where we were. You could make the whole bracelet and then make the buttonhole if you wanted. That's how I did the first demo. And then I was like, well, I know how to do the regular weaving. It's really the buttonhole. So that's why I'm doing the buttonhole first.
That's very smart.
You could reinforce both sides if you wanted. I don't know if it's necessary. Both Wildfire and hemp are pretty strong products. So,
we're just working our way back down to here right now,
just to finish off the bracelet. Yep.
Gotcha.
That's all we're doing.
All right.
And I'm just alternating whether I'm going through the top or the bottom.
Yeah.
So then I'm back at my 3. I'm just going to go through this top bead right here so I can get out to the outside. And then I am just going to go back through the 3 down here. And start back to the beginning. Or back to just picking up 3. So the next in my pattern would be black, gold, and silver. So my pattern is just moving each bead over 1 slot. When they get to the end, they just start over. Go underneath the warp with all 3. Make sure you've checked both holes.
Vicky says, we don't want to suture the hole shut.
No.
Correct?
Correct. You don't want anything in the middle of your buttonhole.
No. Oh, my goodness.
That's right.
Did you know you were going to open this can of worms?
Oh, my goodness.
None of us are right on here. That's why we all get along so well.
And then bottom, make sure you go underneath through all 3. I like to point them down. It makes it easier to just catch them. And then I push them up a little, makes it easier to catch them on the other side. Then go through the tops. Make sure you catch and lock them in. And then I have silver, black, and gold is my next row. Remember to watch if you have pattern tiles, that make sure whatever hole you are in, that when you pull them up, you can see your pattern.
No dangle-do or crystals. Maybe. I'm usually the dangle-do and the crystal lady.
Oh, we will do dangle-doos at the end right here, Vicky. I don't know if you saw the demo. So we do have it here. Because we're not using this for the button. So I was like, let's put some dangle-doos on it. So we do have our dangle-doos.
Mm-hmm.
Or dangle-dangles or whatever we call them each week.
These were the dangle-dangles I did on the pearl bracelets.
Oh, love that.
Same kind of concepts, you know?
Yeah.
It does. It adds something to it.
All right. How are you guys feeling about the regular three row, like the 3 bead rows? Do you feel like you need me to do another row, or are you ready for the finishing of the bracelet? I don't know if I said hi to Claire. Hi, Claire. Yes, Lisa said this loom looks great. I did not know there were different kinds. Yeah, so this is the small wisdom warrior. There's a second one like this that's larger, that's great for double wrap bracelets, hat bands, belts, you name it. This one's great for bracelets and earrings projects. It's the same size as the original. And then Jules also has... All right, Fran feels like she can do the finish. Okay. The Jewel Loom shop also has the goddess, the sun. Is it sun? What's the name of sun goddess?
I think, let me look for sure though.
Which is, you can make bracelets and stuff on, but is a really great fiber loom. So put this one to the side. All right. So here we are. Wow, look at how fast I am.
You are, my gosh.
Change the colors.
See what I said about none of us being right?
No, we're not. Just gonna burn down some of my threads here. So I added in a thread right here and just getting it out of the way.
Weaver is what that is
Oh,
called.
Yes. I I don't have it super nearby, or I'd show that one. But
they have, she has this really cool kit almost that comes with it. It has a stand and a needle and I wouldn't say a kit, but I guess it comes with a stand and a needle, which is very, very helpful with the and it looks like it's marked down to $39.99 right now, guys. So
it's a beautiful loom too.
And that is the 5-inch wide, and then there is also 8-inch wide, but that's a little longer as well.
Yep.
Fun.
Welcome, Sabrina. Vicky said, "Oh, good. It's just not an Amber or Trish design without some dangles or bling." Oh, welcome, Sabrina. So glad you could join us. All right, so now we're gonna take this bad boy off the loom. So this is also made with the tile beads. And I had pushed it way down in there so it wouldn't move on me, because this is a slightly thicker hemp. So as you can see, I did use one. This one has like a blue shimmery, as you can see underneath it's plain. So I had to focus making sure that I had that pointing up. And just like our other loom projects, you're just going to come in and tie your warps. I'm going to burn down my threads here. If you don't have a thread burner, you can definitely use like cutters, beading thread cutters, which I love too. But make sure you put some glue on the end of your knots then. All right, so you take this and just take 2 of your, tie 2 knots. This side will be where you have your dingle dangles.
Yeah.
So you just want to find some bigger hole beads for your dingle dangles. So I did this to tie, don't pull too tight because you don't want to warp your stuff here. And then I just took them all, you don't have to, and tied them together. It might be too short this time, but I think it'll work. So I just did some knots to tie off the warps, and then and then a big knot in the end just to hold all the threads together. And then you want to get, as I said, these are just some black check glass. So Jules has several different check glass collections. I just slide it on and tie a little knot. I like hemp because it can hold the knots really well, and most of the time it's fairly easy to knot. So I'm having trouble. It's a little shorter than I like, but that's okay. And then you can make your dingle dangle as long as you want. And that's all you do is just slide it on the extra hemp and tie it off. So
very cool.
We will move on to this other side, because same thing. You want to tie off your warps first. Oh, I didn't cut that one. So just 2 dots. This is important. This particular side where the button is where you need to have it longer. So if this side is shorter, that's fine. The dingle dangles can have shorter ones. But make sure the button side has just because you'll have to play with it a little just to figure out how much extra hemp you need to make sure it'll fit on your wrist. So then you take your hemp, you pick your fun Jules button. You can color it before. Take 2 of the pieces and put it through one side. That's okay. Nice, you can't spell today, Becky. No. Yes, tweezer node pliers are great. They're very handy with short threads. Yes. Very true, Vicky. Very true. Yes, I do pull out my pliers to help me do that. But you don't need to watch me make all these knots. We just want to figure out how to use the buttonhole. So just start with one knot because you're going to want to slide it around a little until you find just the right tension for you. So do one knot, and then all I did was take it, and then I just played around with it until I found, like, it needs to be a little longer, the right distance for my wrist that I'm comfortable with. And the first couple times it's a little stiff, that's just, there we go. It'll loosen up as it gets used to. And then you just go in and you tie the second knot and trim your strings. You can put some dingle dangles on this side too.
Geez, we'd be all set up then.
Bling-a-bling bling.
Mm-hmm. That's my nickname.
Yeah, that's right. And I'll pull back out and tie my second knot. So do you friends have any questions? Just make sure you don't lose your distance there.
Yes, that's for sure.
Yeah, and there we have it, friends. So virtually, you will just keep going with whatever pattern you chose. Listen to me speak.
Yeah, that's a very, very fun project, Amber. I really like it.
Thank you. I'll flip it around here. Yes, thanks, Maria. Queens of bling. We like our bling.
Yes, for sure. I have a bling disorder. I'm going to get flipped around if you want to just go for a second, my dear, so I don't make anybody sick.
And then you can share who our winner is.
I will do that.
Thank you, Maria.
We have such good girls, I'll tell you.
Yes. Good friends. Oh, you're welcome, Bonnie. I'm so glad you love it.
All right, there we go. Okay.
Oh, that means I need to bring you back. There we are. I'm tying my check glass off here.
I'm going to back my lights off here so they're not in everybody's.
I know, I had to turn mine off.
They're usually in with the camera, so I move them in when I'm working on the tabletop, you know.
Me too, friend.
Okay, guys. So just to go over everything again, every week we give away a Loom kit, which is a super fun kit that Jules gives away every week. And it has the original, the baby, it has hemp, it has beads,
button.
Comes with the button. And Loom needles, I believe.
Yeah, I think.
And she gives this away every week, guys. So for anyone that is a new subscriber, for everyone that's already been a subscriber, we do thank you. We do love you and appreciate you. But we want to give the new people coming in, just as you had the chance to enter. So for the new people, what you need to do is just head over to jewelloom.com and sign up for the newsletter. You need to like the Jewel Loom Facebook page and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Those are the 3 things you need to do, and you will be entered in to win the awesome prize that Joyce gives up. So we do have last week's winner. I don't know if Deborah's here, but Deborah Pryor from Chico, Texas was the winner last week. So congratulations, Deborah. Reach out to Jules, and you'll need to give her your information, and she can get that out to you. So super fun. So make sure you do that, guys.
Vicky did have a question. She asked if we could do this with fire polish. Oh, most certainly.
You can do everything.
Yeah. I would, just lay it out. Like, the big thing would be just to make sure you have the right length. So it's just the mentality of remembering you need to make it extra long. So you'll need to, like probably about an inch longer than what you normally make.
Yeah. That would work well, I think.
I think that would be beautiful. We're gonna do it. Oh. I just added my bling-a-bling here.
Very cute. Very cute. Can't beat some fire polish, that's for sure. And so next week, guys, you're going to be stuck with just me again, and we're going to do a wire bracelet on the original loom. It's going to be completely made out of wire. So if you are interested in something like that, don't forget to stop back over next Thursday at 7 to learn some fun wire work on the loom. This is something that I'm really wanting to explore more because wire is one of my first loves. So I do love working with wire. So this bracelet's going to be super fun. We're going to make a cuff, and
I can't wait to see
enjoy it.
I'm so
excited. It'll be fun. It'll be fun, if nothing else.
Yes. So, thank you, everybody. Thanks for all your kind words. And any more questions? We actually are just on time here. Look at us. Woohoo.
Yeah.
Make sure we don't. Yeah. Well, share with your friends. Like, oh, that's fun, Vicky. Yeah, share with your friends. We'd love for them to join us, and they have a chance to win a loom. So
yes, please do.
Yeah. And Nicole said, have a great weekend, everyone. Yes,
you too, Nicole. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, if there's no more questions, we will see you. Well, Trish will see you next week, and I will probably see you in the comments. So
yes. Hopefully you're filling up to that.
Two more chemo treatments. I've got all kinds of other treatments, but 2 more chemo, hopefully.
That's good. That's good.
All right, friends.
Get those knocked out, girl. You can do it. You're a tough girl.
Take care, friends. And I gotta get us off.
Bye, guys. Thanks so much for stopping in. We'll see you next week.